Good morning, beauty.
Monitors Iran says the country is ramping up production of unmanned aerial vehicles, possibly to aid terrorist groups in the region. Here's One America's Scott Wheeler.
Iran has been listed by the U.S. State Department as a state sponsor of terrorism since 1984. Now, according to a group that monitors Iran's human rights violations and terrorist activities, it is expanding its manufacturing of unmanned aerial vehicles that the group says is being used to conduct terrorist attacks in the Middle East.
It's very difficult to estimate the number of UAVs that Tehran has, but they certainly have hundreds, if not more.
Alre is the deputy director of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. He says that Iran is increasing its production of drones and using them as weapons in the Middle East. Would you have any idea what their production capability is? You said 8 plants, 8 factories in 7 places. How many can they produce? Do you have any idea of that?
Well, they certainly can produce enough that they're already supplying to their, mercenaries. All of those missiles that are fired in Yemen against the targets in Saudi Arabia, in the Persian Gulf, all of them are either produced in Iran or their parts were produced in Iran and assembled by their own proxies in Yemen.
According to Jaffarzadeh, Iran is providing the drones to terrorist groups in other countries to create instability.
Look at the situation in Syria. All of those things come from Iran. In Iraq, the Chapy, some of those militia groups, they have drones. Where do those drones come? They come from Iran. And the same situation in Lebanon. So that's why I think, you get a picture of the regime that they have enough of this arsenal to create mayhem and instability.
There is also evidence that the People's Republic of China is assisting the Iranian regime in manufacturing the UAVs. In one of the photos you showed in your presentation, there was a container port with a Chinese name, Yang, on the side. How much support and aid is China providing for Iran?
China is playing a big role in the UAV program of the Iranian regime. They supply them with engines, with parts, with the raw material, especially some of the support they used to get before the sanctions from other countries have now replaced it with China. They even ship engines for these UAVs directly from China to Syria to provide to the Iran regime proxies to put them together in their workshops and build the UAVs in Syria for their own mercenaries. That's how extensive their support is.
Iran's drone program hasn't gone unnoticed by the United States government. In July, the Wall Street Journal quoted a U.S. official saying Iran's drones are becoming an increasing threat to our allies in the region, in a discussion about possible sanctions against suppliers of the raw materials. For One America News in Washington, I'm Scott Wheeler.
A large sandstorm originating from North Africa is arriving in Cuba after traveling more than 4,000 miles over the